My name is Emily Pritt and I'm the brand director of the Bowerman Track Club. We're at Alpha Chi Omega in Eugene, Oregon, here at the Bowerman Track Clubhouse, celebrating all of our athletes at the U.S. Championships, bringing together their family, friends, and fans of Bowerman to show our athletes love and support here at the championships. This is our second year doing the house. It's really kind of come to fruition out of the desire to continue community building. We've been a club now for 20 years, but the last 10 years we've had professional athletes at the top of the pyramid of the club, and we've been really fortunate to have their support and belief in the Bowerman Track Club and what we're trying to accomplish, what our mission is, youth to Olympians, chase dreams together, and we really have pulled that all together in the house and the section, creating community. That's what our club's about.
Chris Cook here, one of the founders of the Bowerman Track Club. Just wanted to give you a little bit of a sense of how the club got started. It really started, it was just a bunch of 30, 40-year-old men and women who worked at Nike that were running in some local cross-country races, and we decided we wanted to just kind of get together as a team. And then in 2003, we kind of formalized that as the Bowerman Track Club. One of our members, Kevin Polk, went and talked to Barbara Bowerman and checked it was okay to use the name Bowerman, but we sort of really wanted, she was good with it, we really wanted to use that name to kind of, as a shout out to Bill Bowerman, who was the coach at the University of Oregon for many years and one of the founders of Nike. So it seemed appropriate since we're a Nike club.
So our youth club has been the pillar of our club. It was one of the first components started back in 2003, and I think it was started with 5 or 10 kids. We've grown to 350 kids in cross country. We just started a youth track program this year in 2023, have about 190 kids that compete. Our mission is to reach out to communities in Portland that maybe have never heard about the Bowerman Track Club, maybe have never run it before in their life, and they find a community with us, they find purpose and fun in running, and maybe it's something that they continue to do the rest of their lives, whether that's through high school, college, post-collegiately. We hope to be kind of their first touch point of what running can do positively in their lives.
I'm Dominic Arce, and I am the community coordinator for the Bowerman Track Club. Yeah, so traditionally we've been a cross-country program for our youth athletes, and that's been around 300, 350 athletes. And this year we decided, there's so much opportunity for kids to run the whole year round. So we brought our staff together and created a youth track program that's been running through April and all the way through August for all those opportunities through USATF to get kids down to Hayward, represent Bowerman, and just get the experience to grow in the sport. The youth programs are awesome because we have our elite staff, so the post-collegiate through master's program runners come out and they coach with the youth athletes, so we bring the whole community together and bridge that gap.
I'm Elliot Heath. I'm the club director for the Bowerman Track Club. High school summer camp is something that has actually been like a huge part of my path in sport, so it really just launched my path in running into a totally different direction. So ever since that time, camp has just been a huge part of my belief in what it can provide to young athletes. And things kind of came full circle when I eventually turned pro and started to run for the Bowerman Track Club, and those camp counselors of mine became teammates of mine running professionally. And so for a long time we were looking for kind of the right environment to host camp, and in 2019 the opportunity presented itself just a few hours down the road from Portland to have this really awesome camp opportunity in Bend. In 2019 we were really excited to launch the camp opportunity, and high schoolers came from around the country and around the world. I think over 40 different states have been represented at camp now, maybe 10 different countries. And it's just an area in which summer training for high schoolers is such a big deal. It's a way in which athletes can level up, they can take their training to a new level. And it's just a really good time in the sport of where you learn to run and build that community around running. And so we've been holding camp either in person or online since 2019. It feels really good the last 2 years to be back in person, but it's it's the most fun 2 weeks of the summer, and it's kind of this full circle experience for me, I guess, even with the club and my one-time coach, and now we're providing camp to the next generation of runners.
So I think in around 2013, the pro team joined as well. So that was pretty cool. That was when it became, you know, we're basically covering all aspects of running. You know, by that time we'd expanded the youth program all the way down to like 7-year-olds. So we had the sort of 7 to 14 youth program. We've now got kind of a high school running camp going. We had the local elites, we had the professionals, we had the masters runners. So we really, I suppose by around 2013, we had that whole spectrum of runners included within the club. But like I say, it really just started out in 2003 with a group of 30 and 40 something, you know, hack runners at Nike, yeah.
Hi, I'm Julian Henninger, the design director for Bowerman Track Club. When it comes to logos, I actually have we have our community run today at our clubhouse in Eugene, but on the back we have a sort of logo library of all the, to me this is all of my work, these are my children. From the very beginning you actually have some deep Nike tradition. We started as the Bowerman Athletic Club, which other people have talked about, but for us and for me it's like, how do you take the deep roots and tradition of Nike, Bowerman Track Club, and bring that to a fresh new audience and a fresh new thing that we're trying to do, but also, you know, rep the heritage of things like Nike and Eugene, and us being based in Portland, we have some kind of fun tie-ins from that as well. I mean, this is a bit of a big comparison, but what Jordan is to Nike and what that was for basketball, I like to think of Bowerman being for running and track and field. Obviously with our namesake being Bowerman and a lot of inspiration coming from Nike and the roots of that, we are always tied with them, but it is really cool to have that partnership, but have the opportunity to brand and take things in our own direction and tell the stories that we want to tell of our athletes and community, and hopefully get people excited about wearing the stuff and feeling like part of the club. And Bowerman Track Club is such a deeply Oregon thing that when people come from out of state or they come from all over, or like, that's the coolest for me, I think actually, is when the international scene gets involved and they start throwing it on. It's super, super rewarding for me.
My name's Liam Myro. I am the social and content manager for the Bowerman Track Club. What's unique here at the Bowerman Track Clubhouse in Eugene is that all of the digital experiences that people see on their phone, on Instagram, is funneled down to an in-person experience that they get to interact with the pros, interact with our elite team and other members of the community, and really mesh and enjoy the experience of the community in person and feel connected and make friendships, so then they can go back and look on Instagram and see that it happens in real life, and that the experiences we forge are true and last forever.
A lot of the genesis for what we're trying to do and grow with the fan section comes from my work at the Portland Timbers. I spent a year working for the Timbers, and I think Major League Soccer is doing incredible things in the sport and energy in the US, and I think track can learn a lot from soccer. So the idea behind the fan section was obviously to create a space for families to be together and to celebrate in the triumphs, and, you know, be together and maybe hopefully not the defeats, but anything, just being together. And that energy really came from the Timbers Army, and just wanting there to be more professional energy in track and field. I think that it's really caught on with our club. I know for the Prefontaine Classic that's going to be here in Eugene in September, we're going to have a section. I know that other clubs are starting to ask for sections, which is great. We're not here to gatekeep, we're here to grow. That's why our club is trying to be the leader in the sport and help the whole sport grow. And so I'm really excited to kind of bring that Timbers Army energy to track and field.
So every year we have the Bowerman 5K. This year we're celebrating the 11th annual Bowerman 5K at Nike World Headquarters on Beaverton. It's a great place for people to come together and experience a run with the community, but also build those connections they take out elsewhere. Our club representation there is huge. We have a bunch of the elite team and masters team and youth runners that come out every year. And it's one of the focal points for our club to touch base with all those people that we see year-round and get that energy up and give the community something to look forward to each year.
What's next for BTC is our professionals headed to Budapest for the World Championships, and stay posted on Instagram at BowermanTC for the freshest content for all of our athletes racing on the track.